Hello, Malachi. Good evening. How are you doing today?
Hi, Arizal, how's it going? Doing good, Baruch Hashem, everything's good. No complaining. And it's a real pleasure to be interviewed by you. And hopefully we are going to influence the maximum of people to join our little journey about the discovering of the truth. And this is the Torah, Kabbalah, the Chokmah Emet. Okay. So I listen to a question.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for taking your time. So I definitely wanted to know more about you. So if you can share with me, what's your Jewish background and history?
Okay. Okay, I say my name is Malachi Tano. I'm from Ivory Coast, Côte d'Ivoire. Okay, how my Jewish journey starts, and I'm going to tell you, it was a very uncommon way because to have a Jewish life in this part of the world is very complicated. We still have some Jews, remnant of some Jews in Ethiopia, Uganda, Zimbabwe, Nigeria, and some in Africa where we have the Yakuba, the Bnei Yaakov, we're part of a lost tribe. And I grew up mostly Christian, but secular. It doesn't make sense for me for since I was a children with my with like it was not like the thing that I want to experience in my life, but it was imposed for me. I was just following the crowd. And after my mom, she has a dream. Okay, when she saw the Sefer Torah and she saw the different president of my country, they told her that he's going to save the country. Is a Torah. So till then, my mother she went to synagogue, Kabbalah Center. Okay. And till then, she went there. She learned about Torah, Kabbalah, and there was different type of people out there. There are some Jews, some Gerim convert, and some Ashkenazi, Yemeni. It was like a Jewish a microcosm of Jewish family. And from then, she was practicing Judaism at home, and I was very curious to see her like Kadosh Kadosh. She was jumping in the hair like 3 times. I was like, "What's going on? What that mean?" And I asked her that I study. I'm right now practicing Judaism and learning the wisdom of Kabbalah. And till I was like very interesting, and but I was still doing my own stuff. And then I went to Romania. I was there for 7 years. I got my bachelor degree in petroleum and gas engineering technology. And then when I went back to my country in Ivory Coast, and I went to do Shabbat with her, and that was the first beginning of my journey. Because after that, what's happened is that after Moshe Shabbat, after Avdallah, I went back home to sleep, and I start to see the Ibu letter shining in the hair in my room. Like I was like, what's going on? So that was my first experience. I have a lot of mystical experiences about the Torah and some dreams. I will have more time, a longer interview to explain you about my history. But my history started in Ivory Coast. I study today 3 years of Kabbalah in my country. Okay. And most of my study I was done by myself. Yeah, I study right to today. It's been like 12 years I study Kabbalah. Most of my study I study by myself. Yeah.
I understand. So how
Yeah.
do you feel about Kabbalah in terms of rabbinical, the way that they view it in the Jewish world, where a lot of people imposed to learn Kabbalah after the age of 40, Gila Bina, and and is it like a different type of Kabbalah that you're teaching versus others? Can you explain me briefly a little bit about it?
Okay. So first of all, when I went in America, and I was already versed in Kabbalah and Torah, so my process to Geru to conversion was quite quite quite. And the rabbi was very impressed that I came from Africa and I know all that stuff. And after doing my conversion, and I start to do my little journey to learn more about different Jewish from different part of the world historically, because I love history and topology. And the thing that people are very is like some paradox and some unclarity about why people they don't study so much Kabbalah. I would say more is about in the Ashkenazi world because of one event that happened around the 17th, 18th century, something like that. We talk about Shabbatat Sevi. He was one rabbi, Russia, Ukraine. He was a very well-known Kabbalist, and he thought that he was a Messiah, okay? And he started to have a crowd. People start to follow him. But unfortunately, when he said to his people, "Oh, let's go to Jerusalem because Mashiach need to be established in Jerusalem," he has been intercepted in Turkey, and they told him if he doesn't convert to Islam, they're going to kill him. So he converted to Islam. So after that, the Ashkenazi world, they were very careful about the wisdom of Kabbalah, especially after that, the Hasidic movement with Baal Shem Tov start to spread, and the Hasidut is people say the Hasidut is Kabbalah. Is not so Kabbalah. It's a branch of Kabbalah. It's a more philosophical part of Kabbalah. We talk about some aspect of Kabbalah, but it's not really the practical Kabbalah. But what I can say that the Hasidic master from Baal Shem Tov till the Lubavitch Rebbe, they know about the real Hasidut. It was based on totally Kabbalah. But now in our modern world, they simplify things. They make it more easily for people to understand Hasidut, and they talk a little bit about Kabbalah, but it's most based on Hasidut.
So is there like a Western and Eastern, and which one do you feel more connected that apply to you?
About which
Kabbalah, is it like a Abulaf, like
okay.
What kind of people do you feel like you're resonating in terms of your teaching?
Definitely the Arizal, Isaac Luria. So
okay.
the type of Kabbalah that I study is a Lurianic way, because it's the most difficult. Okay, definitely is the most difficult, but it's the most profound and more scholarly and spiritually inclined. Okay, and is the one that compiled the most difficult, complex aspect of Kabbalah. Okay, to be accessible, but it's still very difficult. Okay, it's still very difficult, and he has some book, we call that the 8 gates, Shar HaGigulim, Shar HaKedusha, Shar HaKavanot, Shar Mamir Hashbi, Shar HaMizvot, Shar HaPesukim, Shar HaGigulim, and is another Shar, it's a Shar Ruach HaKodesh. Okay, so that resonated me. Arizal, the Ramchal, Rabbi Chaim Zuluzato, also the exorcist Kabbalist Rabbi Dafdaya, also Aryeh Kaplan. Definitely, since I'm a scientist, yes, Aryeh Kaplan is for me is my role model, because he was a great Kabbalist and also a great scientist. He's very so he was very like realistic in his way of Torah, practical and mystical. He joined together. That's the right thing to do. And the last person that really resonated in my study, definitely Baal Shem Tov. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. I have one more question. I'll combine two questions together. How do you use Kabbalah in these modern times? A lot of people use Kabbalah in a very mystical and spiritual over religion. How do you connect Kabbalah to, is it more like Jewish, or is it like, would you say it's more separate? A lot of people like dissociate this from Judaism and use it as just a spiritual, mystical. How do you feel about it? How do you connect Kabbalah to Judaism, or and then one like main message that you feel like you can change the world with Kabbalah?
Okay, first of all, I'm going to answer your previous question about the fact that we need to study Kabbalah at 40 years old. It was after the discovering of the Zohar, this decree was removed. Okay, so after the discovering of the Zohar, open to the public around the 14th century, okay, Rabbi Shimon, he had the Sefer Zohar because it was not the right time. It was not that the Limud HaMashiach to release this book to the open public. And then Rabbi Isaac ben Akko, a Greek Kabbalist, he was a student and friend of Rabbi Nachmanides, the Rambam, and he met Moshe ben Leon, and then he started to codify the Zohar, and he was like exposed to the public. And at this moment, to learn, you need to wait 40 years old before to learn the Zohar. It was done because we don't have time anymore. We enter the phase of Mashiach. This is what Eliyahu Navi is saying in the Zohar Kadosh. He said that when the Zohar is going to be open to the public, it means that it's a time to learn the Kabbalah, to bring a Mashiach. It's a key to live, to connect to the spiritual world, to improve our life, and to awake Mashiach, and also to awake our Nisosot, our spark of Mashiach in each one of us, because people are waiting for one Mashiach, a savior, a superhero that is coming to come to save us. It's not totally, it's like a half story, because the Mashiach, he need us before to get awake. It's not, we are the key to awake Mashiach. We need to awake our Mashiach instinct to activate our actualization before to awake, to make him to be awake, because without us he cannot do anything. So we are, it's him, by repentance, by learning Torah and Kabbalah, good deeds, he's going to give him the state of consciousness that is Mashiach. You need to be awake also. And the fact that we need Kabbalah in our life, Kabbalah is not a religious system. Okay, it's a tradition. I'm a Kabbalah to receive the tradition. So we need to understand that the Kabbalah started by Adam Arishon. Adam was not Jewish. Adam, what is the Cain, Abel, Shet, Methuselah, Enoch, Noah, Shem, till Abraham. They were not doing any type of Judaism. They were doing Kabbalah. Okay, Kabbalah is not a religion. Okay, it's then after, when Moshe received the Torah, Mount Sinai, then the Yahadut start, but officially it starts when the David HaMelech, the King David, established his kingdom in Jerusalem. This is when the Yahadut, the Judaism start. But the Kabbalah was already there for a long time, till Adam Arishon, because I don't know if people hear about the Sefer Aziel. Okay, the first book of Kabbalah was given to Adam Arishon. Okay, and also the book of Toledot Adam is a very secret book about Kabbalah, about all the mystical insight and science and discovery in the future that Adam Arishon has. Also a different book also that I will not mention here, because I prefer to say that directly on my lecture. And definitely it's okay to find yourself with the Kabbalah. Okay, it gives you the ikar, the essence of who you are and who we are as a global entity, because we come all from the same sources. So the religion that we have today, they are very influenced by the culture. But the Kabbalah hasn't been conflicted with culture. It comes directly from direct sources. So this is what I want to talk about Kabbalah, and definitely it helps you to understand the law of cause and effect, and also the Kwar HaMashpia and Kwar HaMekabel, the desire to receive and the sake to give.
So, yeah, very nice. Thank you so much. Last thing that I wanted to share. I know you're doing amazing course, lecture, workshop this upcoming Wednesday. If you can share like briefly, like what is it about? What do you want people to learn from this brief overview?
Okay, so briefly, so You see, this lecture is going to be a mind opener for two antagonistic entities, the scientists and the religious. It's about the creation of the universe. Okay? For decades, these two groups are fighting each other, they're avoiding each other. One part say we have the truth, one part say we have the truth. And unfortunately, they're just dancing. It's like two choreographer. They're avoiding to dance together when the music is still turning on. The music is there, but the music is there to unify them, but they don't want to dance each other. You know what I mean? They don't want to dance together. Okay? So in this lecture, I'm going to give you the practical way how to unite the two. And in reality, they are one. The Torah is the science of the universe. It's a book of law of universe. And every scientific discovering that has been done till the 1960, and because 1960 started to be the industrial revolution, but it started before 1920 with the discovery of a Big Bang with George Lemaître, and then Edwin Hubble, Albert Einstein, then after Richard Feynman, and also George Gamow. So all these entities, all the discovering were already on the Kabbalah. But you need to be in the language of mathematical language to explain the spiritual aspect of the secret of universe. Science is to understand the power of a name, Elohim. Elohim is the name of creation. Okay? It's a way out to understand when the light of Hashem, the light of science come on earth, is split in gematria and mathematical codes to understand his way. Science is to understand the way of Hashem. Okay? It's to understand the way of how Hashem interact with the Malchut, our world. Okay? So, in Kabbalah, it's connected to the name Shem Hashem, Yod Kei Vav Kei, the spiritual world. We need to unite the spiritual world and the physical world. Okay, Kabbalah, spiritual, and science, physical world. Empirical experiments. We need, to be joined together. But unfortunately, because different people have the ego, the dark age, okay, or you're not worthy to learn about this secret, and different also there were war that disrupt this connection. They try. For example, Isaac Newton, the greatest scientist, the one that wrote the principle, and he found the law of gravity. He was a Kabbalist. He was part of a Theosophian order. Yeah, he was a Kabbalist. He said that if all of his discovery, gravity and so on, he found the answer in the Zohar. Mamash, you can find on it. I can challenge you because I like to challenge people. I'm not here to indoctrinize people. I like people to challenge me. I love questions because like that I grow, you grow together. So this is what I'm talking about this lecture, the age of the universe, how the universe was created, what the Kabbalah said about the Big Bang, what happened before the Big Bang, how Hashem created the world in 6 days. How long was 6 days? There were already 6 days, or they were like 1,000 days. What's going on was like more clarity. How the rabbi, some rabbi, unfortunately, they said that the world is 5,000 years old. When there's a lot of like kabbalistic sources that say that no, the world is like billion years.
Wow.
Yeah, the Kabbalah explained that no, the world is billion years, that you make a mistake, that the 5,584 that in the Jewish calendar is started by the birth of Adam.
Yeah, I definitely have a lot of interest. I've been studying some quantum physics, and I think like the creation of the world is behind time, and the time wasn't even created. So I definitely have a lot of questions, and I know you're going to give a lot of more insight during the lecture. So I really appreciate the introduction, and thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it. Looking
Yeah.
forward. Thank you.
Listen, okay.